This video might ruffle some feathers. It might upset a few people, but I feel like I'd rather give you my honest opinion over anything else when it comes to this. And let me just preface this all by saying, at the end of the day, just do whatever you want. Really with anything, but especially with drawing and creating things, use crayons, use chalk, use, I don't know, whatever you want. But if someone was to ask me, and I think this goes for a lot of artists at any experience level, but especially someone who's starting out or just newer, should I be drawing digitally? Should I just use traditional tools? What's your take on that? I would definitely say leave the digital stuff alone completely for at least for a while. And those of you who have been following my work, you'll probably know that I've been essentially the whole time I've been using pencil, pens, physical, traditional tools like you can see in the video. But what you might not know is that very early on, there was actually, I believe, an entire year where I drew digitally. I had a Cintiq drawing tablet. I actually still have it, but and I think I was working on Manga Studio, some version of that. And like I said, I was just doing that for a while. I'm not even sure what got me. I think I was still lost. I didn't know what I was comfortable with, and I was still, it was very early on, and I was just trying different stuff. And you might be wanting to try some different stuff too, and that's perfectly fine. But like I said in the beginning, I think if you're trying to get good and you're trying to develop your skills, I think digital is, for the most part, a bad idea, because what can seem like shortcuts, I think in the long run, are just going to hurt you, or you're not going to actually grow as quick as you would if you'd have to do it basically the long way, the long division way. And I'm sure some people are already upset about that. But again, if I was to tell any new artist part of what made me stop using it is that I noticed it in myself. And I did not like that. I noticed that, for example, there are just so many shortcuts that, when it comes to doing a job, it might save you time, but if you're not even good enough yet to do the job, don't worry about that. That shouldn't even be this. Like I said, this is mainly if you're trying to just get off the ground and develop the basics of your own work, your own capabilities. You're trying to build the fundamentals of, okay, how do I draw hands? How do I draw buildings? How do I draw whatever? If, I would notice that you can just, one of the many common, just as an example, one of the many common things that happens all the time with drawing, you might be drawing a character, let's say, and it's pretty good. It's like an 8 out of 10, and you're moving along on it, and then you get to the hand or the foot, and then you notice, this is pretty good, but if I can just kind of shrink this hand a bit and then slightly rotate it, it'll be like a 9 out of 10. And then you do that, and I guess you're happy with it, but then you never learned how to just do that. You know what I mean? I feel like if you take the time to actually, and I know people are clicking off now, but if you actually take the time to erase and just do it, I always looked at it almost as, it's like you're getting more reps in the gym. And I don't know, I don't know gym talk or any of that. I don't know the terminology, but you're getting more experience. You're, the whole 10,000 hours thing. You're also, I look at it like, what if you didn't have that? Like, the more you just do it yourself, you will grow as an artist that way, because you will actually be able to do it, not technology doing it for you, because that's what it is. Another thing, like undo, just so many times, especially with sketching and penciling, you can just kind of, every 3 seconds, you get in the habit of, you're just constantly using that undo button. And it's, I don't know, I just think it's like a crutch. You're constantly, and again, this is for people trying to learn. If you're already skilled and you get to a certain level and you're just kind of using it to meet a deadline or whatever the case, that's different. But even, I would argue, for experienced artists, you're never good enough. Like, it's never like, you're never gonna just, all right, I'm good enough now I'll just kind of cruise, put it on autopilot, just undo everything. Just, another thing, you can also just, one thing I was doing, a big weakness early on, even now, it's a constant thing you have to keep kind of sharp, I find, which is like reversing. You could basically use the flip horizontal shortcut, or whatever you want to call it. Like, you might draw a character looking to the left, and you realize, that's not really, I want them looking the other way. You can just flip it instantly. Snap of a finger, they're looking the other way. And that's another common thing, that artists tend to favor one side. Like, for me, I tend to favor, sometimes it flips, but I'll tend to favor they're looking to the left. Like, if we look at it, if we're looking at the drawing, they're looking to the left. It's better if you're more able to just do it, especially in comic books. You have to just draw characters looking everywhere, every angle, left, right, whatever. And if you can just flip it real quick, you're slowly but surely over time, you're getting weaker. You're getting worse, because you're never using that muscle. You're never using that. You're never attempting even to draw a character that way. And like, there are tons of, amazing digital artists. I'm not saying, I have a preference for whatever, like ink drawings and that kind of stuff, but I'm not saying digital art can't be good. That's not at all what I'm saying. I just think if you're trying to get off the ground, and I just noticed it myself. So, I mean, if there's someone who's not sure, or they're kind of on the fence, and they were there to ask me for whatever reason, I would tell them don't even don't. There's too many pitfalls that you can just rely on that. And like I said, over time, thankfully I stopped that early, and for other reasons too. But that was the main one, that you can just essentially rely on the technology to do a lot of the heavy lifting, or what you might view as annoying. But I know from experience, at least for myself, that over time you will make far less of those mistakes to begin with, because you're so used to just, I know if I do this wrong, I'll have to redo it, so let me really try to get it right the first time. And through the experience, you'll just be better. You won't have to do that as much. But if you're constantly just undoing, resizing, rotating, copy and pasting, you know what I mean? Like you're drawing a crowd and I'll just copy and paste 3 guys here, and then just sort of ink it different. Again, I get the point of that. It does have its purpose, but if you're early on, if you're still trying to really, and you know what level you're at, that's another thing too. Like we all know, unless you're just 100% delusional, I tend to think that people, deep down, what you're capable of. If, whatever, what stage you're at, skill-wise. When it comes to just, I'm mainly talking about penciling here, or drawing figures, drawing environments, drawing just something from nothing. So can you use whatever, Clip Studio or whatever it is, and just ignore these shortcuts, ignore the undo button, ignore, resizing things? Sure, I guess that's possible, but, let's be real. More than likely, you will eventually go back to that and just use those time savers eventually. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I would just suggest, don't use that. It's just, in the long run, I also like the satisfaction of just knowing there's something to this. There's something to the idea that I know most people probably aren't like this, but I know, just give me a pencil, give me whatever, and a piece of paper, and what I make with that, I actually made that. It's actually there. The lines, the ink, the lead. That's what I was actually capable of, and it's. I think you're just better in the long run. Like, you proved to yourself, okay, I made this. Because at the end of the day, when you have some job you're doing, some drawing job, or even just making a comic on your own, whatever, it's not for anyone, it's just for you. There's no one there to save you. There's no technology. And again, I'm not anti-digital art or digital drawing. It's just, if that wasn't there, or you didn't have anything to basically just help you, I just like the idea that, for better or for worse, what I made, that's what it is. And if I want to be better, I just need to work on it. It's just time. You might spend 2 years with little to no development. That's just how it is sometimes. This stuff is not easy. I get it. Trust me, I know. But it's a long road. Don't look at it like, I need to get good now. I need to be fast. I need to be good. This is hopefully a lifelong journey. That's how I look at it. It's a skill you can always have. you can get into your 60s or 70s and continue to draw. It's, we're not athletes. It's a skill that you can continue to grow. So why would you want anything helping you along the way? Like you just, and again, like I said, this is for just what you're able to do on your own as far as making something from nothing. Coloring is different. Digital coloring is different. Or even inking is different, even though it still kind of applies to what I'm saying. But especially for penciling, sketching, drawing, whatever, if you always have these things to just kind of, I'll just flip this around, I'll resize, I'll copy and paste. Oh, this finger was actually good, so I'll make like 4 of those. Come on. Like, like, who wants to do that? To me, it's kind of lame. It's kind of lame. And again, I know someone's mad at that, but make 4 not so great fingers and live with that. That's better. I'm telling you. And with the dissatisfaction of how that looks, it will encourage you to get better. It'll, let me just, all right, on the next drawing, I see what I don't like about this. The fact that every finger just looks the same. They're all just whatever, there's a reason you have a bad feeling about it. It's your mind telling you, I need to work on that. It's better if I can just learn how to actually do this. So I'm sure I pissed off plenty of people, but feel free to let that out in the comments. Just vomit that out. I'm not saying I'm completely right. This is just my opinion that, again, I've kind of said it to death, but if you're trying to learn how to draw, basically, and you're trying to grow, you're trying to get better, actually sharpen your skills, I'd stay away from the digital stuff. Just pick up a pencil, see what you're actually capable of, and in my opinion, that will force you to get better. Nothing's helping you. This is how good you actually are. And yes, that can save you time for a job or a deadline, but that's a different story. So let me know what you think. Hopefully this helps one person. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. But all right, guess that's it.